What's up, y'all? Going live right now with my little pug asleep in my lap. I'm so sorry if you hear any snoring or whatever. But I want to thank you, the sponsors at FAMRA. Thank you so much. If you can download the FAMRA app, it's like camera, but with an F instead in the beginning. And it's a free app. You can download in the Apple iTunes or iStore, whatever their name is for it now. But it's a good time. And I'm going to talk about the new Boba Fett show, I think. Recently watched that. It's been on my mind, and I just wanted to see what other people are thinking about it as well. So, if you have any interest in that, and if you're watching me on YouTube, then, if you want to join in, feel free. I'll send you the link and you can join. But you can check me out on Famra. We're in I think, the director studio. So I'm gonna sit in a little chair with my little feet hanging off the little chair on the edge over there. It's a lot of fun. Um, so some popular headlines for the Boba Fett show. I do want to say it says from the Daily Beast, the Book of Boba Fett has the aim of a drunk stormtrooper. It's pretty harsh. Um, and then, of course, a couple of them were Patton Oswalt reacts to the video that showed him predicting the Book of Boba Fett scene in Parks and Recreation. So, if you're unfamiliar with Parks and Rec, it's a fun show, but he played a little cameo appearance where he was part of the, I guess, citizens or public attendees to this uh, mayoral decision or something, some kind of a decision they were making about something. I forgot what, but he found out he can do a rebuttal to it. Not so much a rebuttal as much as a God, I forgot the name where you just talk forever and a filibuster. So he can do a filibuster. It's pretty a good big fan favorite thing of this Patton Oswalt filibuster during Parks and Recreation video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a lot of fun. But he kind of combines like Star Wars history and like says how the franchise of Star Wars and Marvel kind of can like meet up and unite, and also the Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans franchises as well. That's just pretty funny. Um, but yeah, so he does a good filibuster, like freestyle at the top of his head for like 7 minutes, I think, or 8 minutes, but it's pretty impressive. But so that's what that article is about. And I watched that just to revisit it again because I did watch it originally when he did it, and I saw the extended cut on YouTube when he did it, and it's pretty good. But I think the headlines are more making a big deal out of it of him predicting it than what it really is. Full spoilers ahead of the Boba Fett show. Um, Patton Oswalt in the Parks and Recreation show, his thing that he says that people are saying he predicted from back then when he recorded this many many years ago. He said that eventually Boba Fett does claw his way out of the maw of the Sarlacc pit, but he didn't come out of the mouth. He came out of like the sand because the show clearly shows him opening scene shooting himself out of the side of the belly of the Sarlacc and going sideways and digging himself through the sand, coming out of the sand, and not the maw, which is the mouth of the Sarlacc. So excuse me if I'm mistaken, but that is not the same thing. But still pretty fun. He said that Boba Fett was going to come back. I guess is that the prediction people were hyping up, but that was kind of a thing already because I don't know, whatever. It's fine. Other people have some really harsh reviews. Um, I seem to see a good mix of reactions. Another news company called SF Gate. They said the book of Boba Fett premiere is an abysmal failure on every level. That came out 3 days ago. That's pretty harsh. From Inverse, another news source I never heard about, Boba Fett is finally fixing the worst thing Star Wars stole from Dune. Okay, I feel like Dune is the least of the things they stole from, but they're probably like stealing more from Kurosawa and other things of that nature, like like Baron Cub and things like that. But the book of also, yeah. How about what is the biggest one Lucas stole from? Um, it was a line that I believe Vader was talking to a general or someone. Dark Fortress is that what it is? Gosh, I'm sorry if I can't remember that name correctly. But it was the scene where this guy was going to say the name of this movie, this film that Star Wars was doing an homage to, and ended up getting choked out for it. But that's a good fan thing if you want to look it up. Um, yeah, people seem to be very, very harsh on this. It said is the Forbes from Forbes, the Book of Boba Fett has worse reviews than all Star Wars and Marvel shows so far. Wow. I knew there was a lot of like hate, I guess, when it came towards like what I'm trying to think of the least favored Marvel franchises or movies. Like what Captain Marvel had a big like backlash. And I guess they're saying this is worse than that, which I don't think so. I mean, not just worse in, you know, making wise, but I guess like I feel like the lashback of the bad fan reactions that no one cares about really was worse. I feel like for Captain Marvel than what I'm seeing for Boba Fett. But from CNET, the Book of Boba Fett review, fun Star Wars thrills, but where's the mystery? Where's the mystery? What I mean, it's been one episode. Like we'll find out what the whole deal is. I mean, this is if you're not familiar with the show, if what it's about, if you haven't seen it, I guess, and if you don't care about spoilers, we know that the show is about Boba Fett taking over Jabba the Hutt and his I guess territory that he was controlling, and figuring his way out with the politics of that and how things work. And for me, I'm a little curious to see how it works. I really don't care. I think it's an unnecessary story to have, but it's still fun, I guess. Um, there's a lot of questions of like who is the mayor in this area. Um, Apparently this delegate that the mayor sent to Boba Fett, which people are giving their like uh, I guess whatever I forget what it's called. They're like gifts to the leader to accommodate them and give them sympathy and have Boba Fett take care of them. I guess gifts to the leader or whatever have you tribute. Is that yeah? I think it's tribute. um, and like this mayor person that he sent, this delegate, didn't have anything for Boba Fett, and Boba Fett was like, "All right, well, that's fine." And then the guy was like, "Well, do you have like tribute for the mayor?" And they're like, "No, like you didn't give us anything." He's like, "Oh, well, he not might not be so kind, so we'll get back to you later." He's like, so I guess that's something to look out for later. So who is this mayor? That's a big question. And it's funny, he said that as soon as he stepped off of the Sarlacc pit pad, he turned around as soon as he stepped off and said, the mayor might not be so kind as you were. So I don't know. It's been interesting so far. There's a lot of I guess interesting guest spots that are in the show. I think the little sand person in training that had like the wonky stick that kept hitting Boba Fett when he was tied up. I think that's Jimmy Kimmel's son or nephew, one of the two. Uh, Sorry if I'm mistaken on the exact precision, of who that is, but it's one of those two. So that's kind of neat. And he played a good role, and you can tell he was super psyched when Boba Fett defeated the big monster that was attacking them later on, which was pretty cool. That was like a very Clash of the Titans type of creature that they had. He had like what 6 arms or 6 legs or something, but he kind of like stood up on his hind legs and act like Goro, and but he could also, you know, walk on fours with the upper two, upright, like a centaur or something. Pretty neat. But yeah, so there's just some interesting stuff that's happening in the show. It's a lot of fun, and I hope this the rest of the season will go pretty smoothly. I think I think they have a lot of I guess I feel like they were probably really trepidatious or like intimidated on how to expand on the Boba Fett franchise or character because it's like I guess up there with the fan favorite of just just because he looked cool originally that he has such fanfare and I think they might be able to make it to reach such high expectations but I mean it's like where do you go from working with an older actor that plays Boba Fett and how do you make it exciting because I liked it fine enough but my wife thought it was pretty standard and not as good. She thought the fight scenes were kind of not very well choreographed, I guess. And for me, I feel like that was more expected with an older actor. And how do you get him to move? So how do you give an older actor or character such advances to make him seem cool or intimidating? And it seems like right now he's kind of getting his feet wet, getting a feel of the land, how things are working. I feel like he's been betrayed already by this first person he wants to get the payout from this lady bar owner, the Hotspot Club that had the Jizz band playing. Shout out to that great classic Star Wars Cantina band vibe, but that was fantastic. Um, so how what are they going to do with this older actor and the Boba Fett franchise? Um, I mean, first of all, I guess the show is called The Book of Boba Fett. So, I think we understand it's a chapter from the book, but are they saying that as a title, as like this show is just, a part of his life? Or is he going to eventually maybe like scribe or write a a book, and pass it on to a new person and make an actual physical book of Boba Fett? I don't know. I think I'm not sure which one I'd prefer. I'm trying to think of what the whole name is. Being, I mean, I guess you could have just called the show Boba Fett, but it's like, why the Book of Boba Fett? So I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the creator's intentions. I guess I mean I'm sure the intention is just to make money off a popular character, in a popular franchise, the most popular franchise in entertainment. I'm assuming. I think Star Wars is probably the biggest thing that everyone loves. So, yeah, I mean, gosh, there's so many ways you can go. If you were to make a Boba Fett show yourself, answer and I guess post in the comments on the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube Live. Where would you go with the Boba Fett show? What would you do with Boba Fett? I guess at this older age. For me, it's interesting seeing the flashbacks to his younger self, and that's really cool seeing him with the Sand People. We know that in the Mandalorian show, he does eventually have like a bigger ranking staff as the Sand People's leader has like a real staff, and he does use that in the Mandalorian show. And so this one and the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett, he has a like wooden staff that the little kid was using to beat him, and so he kind of caught it and held on to it. And after he defeated the big beast that was after them that attacked them, the kid was super psyched, holding its head. He was carrying that little crazy wooden staff, and that's his beginner staff, I would say. And the leader had like a more prominent club. And so I feel like eventually he will get that. We saw he had it in Mandalorian, so we're going to see him rise in the ranks and respectability of the Sand People, and maybe he'll learn the language. I mean, aren't they assigned kind of language people? The Mandalorian could speak to them. Can't remember Mandalorian very well, and it's been a while, but I feel like we're going to see that in the future for sure. And we got to see some more of his sidekick. Uh, his co-pilot, his right wing woman. I forgot her name. But she's a very skilled assassin and a good security person. So it's really really cool to see her, in this world and adapt and pop off. I think, I feel like the next episode might hopefully will be about her and what she's doing, because we got his thing kind of. set up with the foundation of what he's doing. So yeah, no, I think there should be a good bit of cutscenes between what's happening the next day with Boba Fett and then her what she's doing. Because we don't want to get her too lost aside and forgot about. But yeah, so I feel like the comments and reactions to this first episode are mostly pretty harsh. I mean, I guess that goes with such fanfare and a lot of popular media. It's like people say that the biggest franchises have the worst fans. People say that about Star Wars mostly, I think, and also about Spider-Man. So I think maybe some people take these decisions that these companies take to their properties a little too personal, which I guess is understandable. But you got to realize that it's all fiction. You shouldn't try to take that character to be a part of you or take it personal if they change the character in any way. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. But thank you so much for joining me. I have been at this for a good bit, and I've enjoyed the show so far. And I'm looking forward to how this new role it takes on for Boba Fett and what it means to him as a person and his empire. And who knows, like if he succeeds at the end, like what if he just ends up running away and not staying as the head of Boba Fett or head of the Hutt's section of territory. I kind of worried or wondered about like I feel like that I feel like Jabba the Hutt had so much uh like reverity, like people respected him so much because he's like this like gangster or whatever, and he had so much territory and things to take care of, and he was part of like an empire of like the Hutt family mafia, and it's like, is that just his like his big vehicle what we saw in Return of the Jedi? Is that just his palace? Like, is that I feel like he's riding in an RV for like all the money he's like should be making across the galaxy or big territories. He's like not really riding pretty good. I feel like he should have had like I don't know, like a bigger thing. I feel like the RV of the Boba Fett palace, like I would like to think that maybe he has like an actual kingdom or a castle on a different planet, hopefully. But if that's his idea of success is riding around in a ballin' RV, then I guess more happy to him, more goodness to him. Chaos in the Comics says Boba has been great in the sued media. There you go. And also, I'm happy he's now expanded media that people are talking about TV shows. Yes, absolutely, dude. Um, do you want to come on, dude? I can send you the link right now. Let's see. I'm very new to StreamYard, but I would gladly send out an invite if you're available, man. If not, no worries. All right, so I'm going to put that in the comments right now. If you feel like joining, go ahead. But if not, no worries, dude. But yeah, I agree. It's awesome that people are talking about it. It's new and popular in the media right now. It's been 1 week. I'm curious to see what episode 2 is going to be about. But um, it's funny because I feel like Boba Fett was such a huge character and people are a fan favorite, but then the camp came in where it's like, well, he really didn't do anything, and as he's overrated and all this mess. But I think that goes into the reviews of the show and the respectability of it if people actually like really like this or not. And apparently it's really 50-50. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Good good for you, Chaos of Comics. You'd hop on, but you're in Europe, jet lagged, and in the mother-in-law's kitchen being quiet. Very nice, dude. Yes, I am also going to Europe in the UK, I believe in May for a music festival. I will be there for 3 or 4 days, and then shortly after, I'll be going to Paris for a week, I believe, and then I'll be back home. So a good little small Euro trip in pretty much 2 or 3 cities, and then calling it a wrap. But that's exciting. That's awesome, dude. That's fun. Um, I've been to Europe 3 times now. I have to think about that. 2 or 3 times. Wait, no, maybe four technically. Anyways, but Yeah, good times. That's awesome. You're traveling, and I hope your mother-in-law is cool. It's always good to have a cool mother-in-law, man. Am I going to B Tech for someone? What's B Tech? BEA Tech? Not sure what that means. If you can specify later on. But yeah. So I mainly want to talk about that Patton Oswalt thing. That's pretty funny, and pretty much uh, the overall synopsis of the Boba Fett show and the current reviews. But I'll probably be wrapping up sometime soon, unless Chaos and Comics can explain what B Tech is. So let me know, dude. Looks like Hollywood Reporter said how the Book of Boba Fett will shake up Star Wars. They have touched on things in the past, I guess, connecting the Mandalorian show and also the Clone Wars, naturally with his father Jango Fett. Um, and I feel like maybe something in Episode 3. I think I heard someone talk about. Oh, be a music tech. Okay, for bands or just going as a fan of the festival. No, no, my tech years and roadie years I think are over. I've done the merch guy thing. Kind of been an also slash kind of like guitar tech or bass tech thing for bands, but then I moved on to like putting on shows and festivals as well. And kind of put that in the backseat as well. I like just going, attending, and having no responsibilities whatsoever. That is, just the way to go. Especially if you're taking vacation time for it. But it is fun to like be on stage during the band and you know hang out with the bands and things like that. But it's like I think I can probably still do that now, probably with the right bands or right people. But uh, yeah. I'm not looking forward to going back to work tomorrow. Although I do love my job. I love my record label job at 20 bucks spin. For free to check that out. 20buckspin.com. Got some great metal records on there. I guess whatever your poison is when it comes to that specific genre, but many of our bands this year has made top 10 lists and top 100 lists for best metal albums of the year. So good stuff. I'm looking forward to what January brings. I think I'm already have to work overtime this coming week, as I did the past 4 weeks, because we had a huge Black Friday sale and also an album come out during the same time period. So it was just like insanity. And I'm the only guy that packs up records for the whole entire label. I'm the only employee for the whole entire label besides the owner. So it is madness for a label that size to just have one employee. So I am crushed all the time for time and responsibility. But I'm trying my best to work out stuff with Famra and also, YouTube and my record label job. But yeah, it's a good time and just exhausting actually. So yes, Chaos and Comics brings out that Chemist is playing in Vegas in January, same day as Tool. Unfortunately, yeah, that's very exciting. Chemist is, I believe, we were their record label for I think 4 or 5 albums. And I think now they're on Nuclear Blast, and that tends to be the move for bands in our label. For 20 bucks spin, we do tend to move bands from 20 bucks spin to Nuclear Blast. It happened with Chemist and Aranzi Pazuzu. They're very good, like progressive psychedelic death metal. I guess I would say uh, from like Sweden or Finland or some European country. I'm sorry to that band because I forget where they're from, but they're amazing. And then Pallbearer, I believe, is on Nuclear Blast now as well. Um, a good bit. Yeah, yeah, not so bad. I mean, I think my boss, his contract that he gives for each band, for those listening, I guess on the podcast, they would say, KS and Comics said, "Oh, no longer with 20 bucks been too bad." Yeah, I guess the contract my boss gives, I believe, is a standard 3 issue or 3 album um, contract. So you know, the good thing about having bands push to nuclear blast is they have a bigger team. They can do bigger tour packages. It's better for the bands that need to grow and big on bigger tours and things like that. And it's also really good for us because I think people tend to find out that the earlier albums that bands make are the better ones. So when this band gets pushed on it and gets more exposure, and the label kind of tries to, at times, I'm not saying anything about Nuclear Blast in particular, but I have noticed, as other fans have, that they try to, mainstream sound the bands that they signed. I think it happened with Witchcraft and Graveyard and some other bands like that. But um, so people tend to get new fans with this new exposure, and they're like, let me check out the older discography, and oh, all their past like 4 or 5 albums, three through five albums are on this other label. Let me check out what this other label has too on top of that. Wow, this is all amazing. And I've heard of this band and this band and this band and this band. And so you get a pattern where now we're repressing albums for like the 12th or 13th or 14th time. And that's where the money is for sure. It's amazing how much you can go back to the water well of old albums. Um, Let's see. Aggressively relaxed and happy New Year. I've been listening while working. Thank you so much, dude. I was really hoping Tool's new album would be very happy and poppy. Haven't worked out their issues with music, but they are still clearly upset. I need to listen to that myself. It's been a while. I think the last one I listened to was 10,000 Days. I think I listened to it once when it came out. Chaos Comes, you guys sell out a lot. Yeah. Wish 20 bucks spins repressed more often. I do too. At the same time, I don't, so I won't be so overworked. But I believe the vinyl pressing for Worm, this one of the greatest Death Doom albums to be released this year and ranked as so, um, is coming out. The vinyl edition, the CDs and tapes you can buy, the cassettes. Yes, there's still cassettes and CDs being made, and they still sell out. The vinyl record editions of those that album from Worm, Forever Glade, I think is the album name, is being released, I believe, in early January, possibly late January. So sometime this month, I will be extra slams at work. Um, no, horrendous is not on 20 bucks spin. Um, I think they're on Dark Descent. I can't quite remember. Maybe Profound Lore. Um, but they are fantastic. We do carry their stuff in our store whenever it's available. We do have a distro besides, we sell stuff on our site besides our own stuff. We have a handful of labels that we have that we picked, cherry picked to have as well. So you can buy things from that label and ours and get the combined shipping. So that's where you save money. Um, haven't listened to that Worm album yet. We'll put it on the list. Yes, do it. It's fantastic. People really love that Worm album. It's Forever Glade. It's fantastic. And also, the people who make the merchandise, the shirts and hats and things like that, long sleeves, work downstairs from us. They're called Pyre Press, Pyre. Recommend checking out Pyre Press and the merchandise that they make. They're awesome. And also, them and I were part of a kind of production company that would put on shows in Pittsburgh, this area where I live in, for the more extreme bands and touring bands from all over the world. So we'd put on the best shows, I think, metal shows that the city ever had, and we called ourselves Steel and Bone Productions. And we've put a pause in that for the past 2 years since COVID started. And even though people are putting on their fests and shows this year, it's still on pause. And Pyre, it gave them a chance to focus on their clothing. It gave us a chance to focus on our music, and that might return in the future. Maybe we'll bring it back when this is more calm. Things are still a little hectic right now, but yeah. Gore Vidal, hell yeah. Happy New Year, Jason. Thank you so much. I'm not familiar with Horrendous or any of the bands except for Tool. I take it they are nothing like Bell and Sebastian. No, no. Bell and Sebastian is very alternative rock, indie, maybe kind of folky. I was a big fan of them many years ago, and I have yet to listen to much music besides what I need to listen to for my work, for my job, which delves into the extreme metal, well, whether that be death metal, black metal, doom, and avant-garde, I would say, and everything in between. Um, but yeah, it's fantastic if you can stand that, and chaos. I think you'll like it as well. Chaos and Comics had just pre-ordered it. Thank you so much, man. I think you'll love it. Bill and Sebastian have grosser lyrics. Very funny. Well, thank you guys for hanging out, man. That's awesome. It's been a good time talking about the Boba Fett show, my work, which I have to return to tomorrow, which I'm not very excited about, and also working overtime every day this week for 11 hours, 11 hour shifts, 5 days a week. Apparently, it was awesome. This prior, I worked like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, 11-hour shifts every day, Monday through Friday, to make sure everyone's package is out the door before Christmas. And I think we met that deadline. They might have received stuff this week at the latest. And then my boss on Thursday, he's like, "Hey, you have Friday off." I'm like, "That's amazing." I'm like, "Well, I'll see you on Monday." He's like, "No, you have the whole entire week off next week." So I'm like, "Yes, that's amazing." So I enjoyed a whole entire week off this past week. It was incredible. I just got to relax and drink beers and uh, play some video games, watch some movies, and then get some stuff done around the house too that needed to be done. But we're preparing to move from this house to a new house, so we're packing up a lot of things. We're cleaning up the garage and fixing small things here and there in the house. So a lot of construction work going on during this time. Um, but yeah, so then I'll be back again on Monday tomorrow, working 11-hour shifts. So thank you so much. Chaos and Comics 20 Spin has always been a great label. It has. It just survives, and I feel like on reputation alone. We always have our regulars where people will buy every color edition of the album that we release, and there's a big market for that too. I'm a big user of Discogs, the app, the vinyl record app. So on Discogs, you can see what albums are worth and how much they sell for, how much you can buy them for, whether it be new or used, and different sellers on there, and what editions. And I contribute. I usually try to contribute the vinyl edition of the 20 Buck Spin albums onto Discogs and get that creator credit on there. Just because I feel like I'm the first one that has access to it, so I might as well do it so everyone can list their stuff for free or easier when it's time for them to list stuff. But that's if I have time. Sometimes I don't. But if you do see a 20 Buck Spin album come on there that's new, yeah, probably I'm the one that put it on there. You can look at the contribution a title and probably see my Party Pug 666 Discogs accounts. It was cool to hear you work for them. Thank you. Yeah, Discogs is crucial. Absolutely. I've been trying to enter my whole entire vinyl collection in there, and I am almost done. I think I have the bottom row to go, and I have I'm not sure how many I'm at, but I'm hi, welcome. You woke up. Okay, hold on. There you go. You got a sleepy pug puppy. There you go. You can go back to sleep. There you go. I know. Okay. Yeah. Discogs is pretty cool. It's funny that I wanted to find my old band's album that we released. So it was funny because I didn't have my bandmates, old bandmates' contact information, but so I had to buy my own albums that I made. You've never checked out Discogs, Aggressive Relaxing? Yeah, welcome to the rabbit hole. Be careful because you will get sucked down it. I think the most recent thing I picked up was a hip hop instrumental album from AG and I forgot his partner back then, but it was this album they made, Runaway Slave, and it was the instrumental version of it. And there's not many available on Discogs, but I imported it from like a different country, a good condition one. I think there's only other like four other users that had it for sale, and they were like beat up copies. So, and I got a good price on it, so I'm pretty lucky to get that. Corporate Al says Cujo. Yeah, man. Uh, the attack dog. Yeah, it's quite the opposite of Cujo. Very sleepy, lazy pug puppy, and hopefully she stays calmed down. She gets very rambunctious, and she's still being potty trained, so she likes to pee in beds, unfortunately. And I like to keep her awake as long as possible to pee on her pee mat. But anyways, I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about that. So thank you to our sponsor at Famra. That's recording my phone right there. You can download the Famra app, spelled the same as camera, but with the F instead of a C. And please download it for free on the Apple iTunes Store. You can enjoy these cool environments that I'm in there. I'm in a little director's chair. You can go to space and do things like that. And if any of you guys, tonight that are commenting are interested in doing a Famra show with me, hit me up. Let me know, whether it be through email or commenting. And if you have an Apple product, iPhone, you can use the Famra app, and we can get something together and do a little show together on both YouTube and Famra at the same time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's awesome. Always good seeing you. Have a fun time in Europe, Chaos and Comics. Hope you're well out there. Thank you so much, Gore Vidal. Love seeing you, man. I appreciate your emails too that you're sending me, man. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I don't respond, but I'm trying to get in a habit of checking my emails for other accounts besides my personal, and I really need to coming up for Fanra in particular. So I'm trying to make it a habit. And thank you for aggressively relaxing, dude. Check out Discogs. You'll have a good time with that. And thank you so much. Thank you to Famra. Thank you to $20 spin my job, which I'll be at tomorrow. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see y'all later.